Hello everyone. I'm Shijing, and I'm a research scientist working with Hartono, and I'm leading the accelerated solar materials development team in my MIT. So my work is more at the interface of the high throughput experimentation, machine learning, and the solid-state materials science. And we are recently running a program where we are really interested in improving the reliability of perovskite solar cells. So here I'm going to give a summary of a project where we are trying to design a capping layer. And later on in the afternoon, Armin will also explain a bit more about our integration of DFT and the experiment together with machine learning. So let me start. So I would like to start my presentation really taking the audience to imagine if you are in a desert or if you are in a tropical rainforest. And it can be not very happy time, right? The sun, the rain can really feel bad. But say if you have a cap here, life can be pretty happy. They can protect you in that way from the external influence. With that in mind, it's not hard to imagine if you have a thin film solar cell device, the perovskite photoactive layer is also prone to degradation because of the sun, because of the water moistures. And if we design a capping layer on top of it, it should help with the lifetime of your device. Indeed, this is one of the hottest area in perovskite photovoltaics moment, which is to extend your device lifetime by building a capping layer on top of your absorber. So if we go one layer deep, so what is this capping layer? If we really talk about a photoactive layer, in this case is a conventional three-dimensional perovskite materials. In the A side here, you have a wide range of organic amines you can put in. And because of the different size, type of the organic molecules you put inside, although they are all positive charged, it will determine different structures, and that gives you different functions. So you see, like we are now in a field where we have application-driven materials discovery. Everything is new. We're exploring new materials. This is what we call capping layer. So now the challenge comes. So how do we actually select a capping layer material? How do we build it? So again, if you imagine you are in a shop, you are trying to choose a cap. You may soon find yourself in the situation there are all different colors of caps to choose. And what is worse, you actually have different form of caps. You say, okay, so it's really hard to choose then. Any one of them in particular may fit you perfectly. And as an inorganic chemist by training, I often feel really admire my colleagues working in organic chemistry. For them, the choice becomes even larger. And to tell you the reality, we actually have at the moment 102 million compounds in the PubChem database. So there are so many choices. We need to find a rule to guide us to design new capping layers. So at this point, people say, okay, so this is clearly beyond our human capacity to really test one by one. So then how do we really use some of the advanced statistical and machine learning tools to guide us, right? So the first step, now we see, okay, so we have a performance. So the approach we are taking is we have a target performance. We want to extend the lifetime of our solar cells. And then we need to find this material. If we see on the left side, in our team, we developed this high throughput automatic stability tracking chamber. So where you do see your different solar materials get degraded as they turn yellow. And on the right side, you can see, you can quantify the moment when they start to degrade. And we can see some of the materials, some of the capping materials are pretty good. Some of the materials are not so good. They turn quickly from black to yellow. So if we see, okay, so what's the role of machine learning here in this study? So we first take these molecules or these potential capping materials, and then we featurize them. So imagine you have a cap, and this is a blue cap, size 8, and it's made of cotton and so on. Similarly, you can featurize your organic molecules. And then you can get the input of all these features from your organic database, and you regress them to the performance optimization. And here, as a result, you can see there's a highlight, which is a PTEAI capped. So meet our top performer, PTEAI capped capping material, and that actually gives us the top performance. So just like Flora previously said, we always want to interpret the model, we want to understand what do we get from this machine learning regression model. So in this case, we use like sharply additive explanation, like what Flora mentioned in her talk earlier. What it does is it quantifies the contributions of each of the input features and their impact on the final output, the results of the stability test. So in this case, what we can see, some of them, for example, the hydrogen bond and also the surface area are very important. Not only they are important, if they are negative, it has a positive effect to the result. So what it shows is if your capping layer material has a minimum number of hydrogen bonds and has a very small surface area in terms of the polar area, that is good. And there are also some of the non-intuitive results come from this model. Before the study, I thought the number of the carbon would be very important because I thought the larger your capping material, maybe the better the stability. But to my surprise, actually, the number of carbon is actually not as important as I thought. So taking that in mind, I will just conclude, if you want to take one message home, I would say if you want to design organic, inorganic hybrid material, and you are in a very complicated compositional space, machine learning can be your friend. And in this case, we demonstrate the first machine learning approach in the field of perovskite photovoltaic design capping layer materials. And the result shows we managed to extend the lifetime of, if we say, the methammonium lead iodide standard perovskite remain stable 6 times longer. We also compare with another state-of-art capping layer material, actually also published in our lab in collaboration with our collaborator at MIT, and it is also better than the current state-of-art. So with that in mind, I will just conclude by saying machine learning can be very helpful when we are trying to design a target-driven, complicated design space. And in this case, we show it is very helpful to design inorganic, organic hybrid materials. Thank you.